Welcome to this meeting of the minds between several Nerf bloggers who attended the 2014 Nerf All Access event. I am Mr. K of the Adult Fans of Nerf. You're supposed to introduce yourself now.
I was letting Travis do it first.
Travis, your audio is terrible.
Your audio is terrible.
There you go.
God damn it. Okay, I'll introduce myself again.
Okay.
This is Mr. S of the Adult Fans of Nerf.
I guess I'll be Stampede from Phone from Above.
Chris Jacobs from Click Click Bamf.
Alright, so we're producing this Hangout video to basically go over what we learned at the All Access event, where we got our hands on with the Demolisher, Slingfire, Thunderbow, Nerf Cam, and Tacnid. We got a chance to talk to the developers, or the designers, engineers, marketing, and head of the brand. And through that, through talking to them, we learned a lot of information that normally we wouldn't get access to. So I think I'll start off my notes here. I was able to learn that Zombie Strike was pitched several times for about 2 years before it was allowed to be produced. Target was given the exclusive as a test to see how profitable it would be. It succeeded better than they had hoped, and it'll be around for at least a few more years. And with the Zombie Strike vein, I also learned about the Sledgefire shells. Apparently they really like the Sledgefire shells so much so that they have actually designed several blasters that use them, although no word came as to whether we'll actually see any of those. But they are out there, and there is the possibility in the future of more blasters with Sledgefire shells. Does anybody have anything to add for that for Zombie Strike?
Yay, Zombie Strike!
Let me see. Oh, so Zombie Strike, we aren't expecting, which, I mean, might not surprise anybody. The blasters in Zombie Strike they're not expected to hit ever the elite ranges, mainly because it's more so the roleplay line, where the focus is the story and the themes, more so than the ranges and performance. So I guess we're going to get a lot more than...
Let's face it, most of the designs of the Zombie Strike blasters are intended for close combat anyway.
Which is one thing that I would have liked to, I forgot to ask rather, was why some of the blasters support elite rating, you know what I mean?
Right, especially if they're not supposed to necessarily get those ranges. But also, I'll just say, as far as the sidearm goes, usually what I'm going with is one of two Zombie Strike blasters. Either it's a side strike or a hammer shot for me in most cases. Those, at least sidearm-wise, for the elite slash Zombie Strike darts, they seem to perform greatly for sidearm blasters. So maybe overall the line isn't meant to be a far-reaching line, but I'll swear the sidearms are probably the best I've seen for combat as a sidearm test.
Agreed wholeheartedly.
I think
the holsters were definitely too far. They were a long time coming.
Oh, definitely. We should have seen something like that years ago for both the Scout and the Strike. Right? That's the Elite Fire, or the Elite Fighter?
Fire Strike.
Yeah, I was right.
Yep. I was able to notice, I didn't get this from the party, but I did notice that the Hammer Shot and Sledgefire are going to be available on other retailers. I noticed this on Entertainment Earth the other day. So we'll be seeing those two at other retailers. They're not exclusive anymore.
I think there's going to be a staged exclusivity. I forget who else did I see? Because I've been seeing zombie strikes showing up at the other stores, so I mean it only makes sense that the Hammer Shack and Sledgefire would show up elsewhere. But maybe the next wave of things is going to be, maybe the Slimfire already isn't exclusive either, as since you already bought it off Amazon.
Yeah, it's not exclusive. But
maybe some of the other stores are just like.
Yeah.
Well, didn't they say that the line wasn't going to stay Target exclusive forever? Or it was supposed to branch out to other retailers?
No, that was definitely that's the way it's intended. Target was just the testing point.
Right. So, I mean, it's not really that surprising that we're seeing stuff that used to be, well, I guess it would be the first time that a previously exclusive blaster is going to be available across market. So, I guess I don't think it'll be a bad thing. I think, if anything, it'll increase the popularity of the Zombie Strike line.
I think so.
Right.
They just have to try and make the Sledgefire shells a little bit more easily available.
Exactly, more places to get them from.
Yeah.
That takes me into something else real quick, and pardon me if you want to swing back to specifically the Zombie Strike line, but you're talking about, hey, this is the first time that exclusives headed to out to different stores. Same with I wonder if that will be the same with the Dark Tag line, because they said they wouldn't declare it dead. They said, no, we haven't made another blaster for it in a long time, but specifically a couple of the design team members said, hey, there were things we really liked in there, though, and we're not against creating more. I wonder if, since they cut that kind of a deal with Target, if, the contract back in the day with Toys R Us was, oh, we'll always have this, or if they've chosen not to do anything with it, maybe that can open up to other places as well.
I would think it has some kind of expiration date on it.
I'm sorry, I couldn't catch that.
I don't even catch that either.
I'm sure it has some kind of expiration date on it. I mean, on the, when it's specifically supposed to not be a Toys R Us exclusive. Because, I mean, it already seems like Toys R Us is carrying, like, one, maybe two of the blasters. At least in the stores that I've gone into.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't think Dark Tag is dead. I think they're just trying to maybe figure out how they can bring it back.
Or at least some of the mechanisms.
Yeah.
Even if the line itself dies, I mean, it's one less ammo type that we'd have to worry about. And to be honest with you, in order to increase the ranges, they'd have to try and put elite hardware in there. And I'd like to see them try and make an elite tagger. I've been trying to think of how it would look, and none of my ideas come anywhere close to being functional.
I think it's possible. It just is going to take a little bit of work on their part.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It is possible, but we'll see. I do agree that some of the mechanisms would be interesting to see new iterations of them, maybe in some other different kind of line, or maybe even a resurgence of Dark Tag. I think the stuff that they were doing in the last series of Dark Tag was the best stuff that they produced so far. I really like that they went away from the two-teamed theme aspect of it and just made uniformly colored blasters, so team doesn't matter, it's just you have a gun you shoot. Or blaster, sorry.
Totally.
Yeah, the color scheme was really nice. And the internal clips and everything were nice, even if they were buggy.
It was another, experimental thing. I think that kind of mechanism would be better suited for streamline / elite darts.
Quite possibly.
Are we laughing at the noises coming from Brian's side?
Yes.
What?
You're pouring of the drink.
It was like a great sound.
At least it's not an echo this time.
Through that.
Yeah.
No kidding.
So I had a chance to talk to Eric about what's Eric's specific title?
Human being.
I thought it was global marketing.
Yeah, I think he is global marketing. But I talked to him for quite a while, and I talked to him about store exclusives. And from what he was telling me, basically how it works is a store, if a store wants toys that will perform well, they come to Hasbro and say we want some exclusive toys that are in your best performing categories, and what can you do for us? Hasbro comes back and says, okay, we got a couple of things in kind of this catalog of designs that we can do for you, or we can do something special. And that's basically what happened with Target, is that Target wanted something special, so they pulled Zombie Strike out, and Target was like, yeah, let's do that. They came up with they decided on the Hammer Shot and Sledgefire, and to debut the entire line at Target. And that's why Target continues to have I think they have all of the Zombie Strike exclusives right now that are coming out. The Long Shot, the Double Magnus Pack, and the Clear Shot. So basically, Target came to Hasbro and said, we want exclusive things because we knew they were going to sell well. And
going along with the Zombie Strike line being such a good run the first go around.
Yep. So that's pretty much the way store exclusives work. Is the stores have kind of some control over what they get. Hasbro shows them a bunch of designs, and they can kind of customize it to add accessories, take accessories out, change colors, and basically to get the combinations that you see in stores. The actual stores themselves are the ones who make most of the decisions on what goes there on the shelves.
Interesting.
Right. I was talking to Brian as well from North HQ about store positioning, how it works with the shelving. Because, I mean, most of us know now if you go into a store, you're at least going to see the same displays in general. I think everybody's really familiar with when the Elites and the Megas came out, and they had that big, almost like crown that went across the top. You could actually look up at the top on the toy rows as you were going down and go, oh, there's the Nerf stuff, because all the blasters were pointing up into the air. And so I asked him, I'm like, okay, so do you guys have a lot of say in negotiation on here's how we want our blasters to present? And he said that there are events, just like we get to come and have an event with them every year. There's an event that the buyers go to, the merchandisers from different stores, Wally World and Target and Toys R Us, etc., and that they kind of demonstrate to them their vision for how things will present, but really it is up to the stores for how they set up within each individual store. I don't know if you guys have ever seen, I know it happens at every store, but sometimes I walk into the Walmarts late at night around here, and they have their little merchandising sheets that are diagrammed out by some corporate merchandiser or regional guy or girl, and it's great because occasionally when they accidentally leave those out, it'll say release dates for upcoming blasters.
Oh, I know planograms very, very well from my years at Walmart.
Oh, there you go.
Yep.
So yeah, it's interesting to see that. Because sometimes they'll even put their reasoning in mods for how the decisions are going to be made, or here's what we're appealing to, and I'm like, oh wow, extra notes, okay, picture.
Speaking of shelving space, I don't know if you guys heard anything about this, but the Thunderbolt is going to come in 2 different versions. One's for U.S. markets, one's for foreign markets. The U.S. market one, bigger box, open box, and the blaster is going to be put together. But in foreign markets, it's going to be a closed box, but the blaster is going to be apart.
Huh.
And with that, it'll have a smaller shelf footprint.
Yep. So maybe at some point in the future we will see the one that's disassembled here, so they can save shelf space.
But it won't be a range difference or anything.
No, there'll be no functional difference at all. It's just how it's presented. And also in that note, it sounds like they have a hard time keeping blasters that are around the $40 range and above on shelves for more than 2 seasons, since they release so many a year. Yeah, they said that $40 and above, the blasters just kind of come off the shelves after 2 seasons, depending on how their sales go.
Now I'll tell you, I wasn't sure when we first got our hands on the Centurion, for example, with that big shelf footprint, how that was going to go. I knew it got a lot of hype, and Nerf did a good job saturating the market with, hey, look at the Centurion, it's the new big bad of the Christmas season from last year. It was actually interesting. I was talking to Brian again at the HQ about something that happened here. I happened to get a chance to watch some camera feed of a particular Walmart with a huge stack of Centurions on it. And if you were to do a time lapse, I wasn't allowed to actually, record the video, but if you were to do a time lapse, you would see the boxes go down and be restocked, go down and be restocked, and go down and be restocked because of how fast grandmas and moms and dads were yanking those things off of the shelves. And the Walmart merchandisers were just sitting there in awe. They were actually watching the loss prevention cameras like, wow, okay, I'm glad we ordered so many of these. So I wonder if they're hoping for the same thing with that mysterious big bad blaster that we keep getting promised by the Nerf HQ guys, especially Michael, the vice president over the global marketing, that we are going to remember this for like decades to come, he says.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what kind of trick they can pull out of their hat.
It is.
They surprised us before. They pleased us before.
True that.
Yeah, and I'd say all 3 of these blasters already are. They all have their strong suits, and they all have, a little something that I wasn't expecting, from them. And I'm happy to see that they are. They are doing very well in terms of performance.
Yeah. I like, looking back for just a second, when you were fast mentioning the ranges from the Zombie Strike line, how they said that was designed or meant to be more of a role-playing design. I kind of got a kick out of that. I mean, I've been a gamer, role-player kind of guy for years anyway. And I always got more into the character side of things. I think it's really neat that they're kind of catering to some character development, even if it's really basic on the box art, and they kind of maybe jumpstart some imaginations with kids. And I'm really interested to see where kids continue to go with that as they push forward that idea.
Yeah, and
see, that's why it's too bad that none of the Rebel ladies or Rebel staff were there either, because that's again, they're also playing with the role play with that too, but you have the Agent Bow, which even though it's got the Tyrannosaurus Rex arm kind of thing going on, it's still hitting 91 feet.
Pretty awesome.
What was I going to say? Oh, and Eric was telling me about some Super Soaker stuff. We were talking about Super Soaker stuff because he handles Nerf or N-Strike stuff and Super Soaker. He said that the whole reason they brought out that 2-pack of Point Breaks in the Zombie Strike deco because they wanted to bring the Zombie Strike story over to Super Soaker, and they said it's actually been selling very well, especially considering the other ones.
Well, you get spitting zombies in that regard.
Spitting zombies?
If you want to think about it that way. See, Brian was really proud of. I wondered. I mentioned the syringe-looking mega parts. He was like, "Yeah, that was one of my ideas." That's like, well, it was a good one because it makes. I mean, all that stuff makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Zombies are really couldn't have come at a better time. I mean, zombies are so relevant now. It's perfect marketing timing, really.
Well, and
It's funny. I would have thought zombies was on the way out.
yeah,
But here we are.
It
With
does
the
seem
popularity of Walking Dead and whatnot, I think we'll still have popular zombies for a few more years.
Sure.
I said that the Zombie Strike was pitched several times for a couple of years. Eric was saying that they were actually pitching it when vampires were still the strongest type of monster.
Bad timing. They should have done it then.
Well, no, they were gonna plan it then and release it afterwards because they had somebody there had surmised that zombies were going to be the next big thing.
Yeah, but it's smarter to wait until it's already hit the market. If you jump the gun and come out with the zombie stuff when zombie stuff is just now coming onto the scene, you run the risk of burning out before the candle becomes the strongest. So you wait a year or so until the market adjusts and the zombies become ingrained in the psyche of everybody, like what's happening right now, and then you bring it out, and then for a couple of years, you reap the benefits of awesome sales because you're with the most relevant thing right now.
Well, the funny part is, there was an article, a couple of years ago I ran across, somebody had written an article on a college campus about humans versus zombies. And there was actually a Nerf rep that was at some event. It was a Super Soaker one. I remember now, it was a Florida Seminole Super Soaker thing. Someone mentioned to a Hasbro rep there about humans versus zombies, and they said, we're welcome and open to all aspects that the fandom brings and, typical PR stuff. So, at the time, though, HVZ was huge. If Nerf had come out with it then, it would have been all caught up in synonymous with HVZ. Lately, HVZs, while still popular, are not nearly under the same kind of, attention that they used to get. In fact, I've seen posts that say, the HVZ forums are kind of dead at the moment. Same thing with a lot of Nerf forums.
Well,
Go figure.
Some schools are out for the summer, and and there's a lot of people, and there's a lot of people getting in trouble for it, and it seems like there's a lot of campuses that are just saying no, you can't do that. And so I think a lot of that is kind of preventing humans versus zombies from staying as big as it once was.
Yeah, that makes sense. And, at the same time, we're seeing this, it's been developing for a couple of years now, but this arena war franchise of businesses is starting to really come up, and then Nerf is acknowledging they're even doing that, quote, experiential Nerf program that was in the malls in the UK and is coming over to the United States. It's almost like people are butting up against that thing like you were talking about. There's different organizations, campuses, businesses, etc., that are like, oh, we don't want that to happen here. So everybody's trying to find a place that they can do it in a controlled environment.
Which would be good timing for stuff like that to start popping up, as we're starting to see now. Arenas and whatnot.
And the whole movement with trying to get kids more active, and that's still going strong. Kids trying to detach themselves from electronic devices. It's all playing in pretty easily.
Yep, definitely.
I wonder though, because they use that's a whole other part of the conversation though. At least as far as because they brought out the app, but we can talk about that when we start talking about the cam and the mystery blaster or what have you. Unless it's a good segue, which doesn't feel like one. Is there anything else about zombies?
I didn't really get much of anything more about Zombie Strike, other than they're kind of trying to use Zombie Strike as a way to get accessories out as much as they can.
Are we talking like weapons or clips or mags, holders?
Not just like, well, I mean, we've seen a lot of stuff from Perpetual Play with the Zombie Strike deco on it, and that is included in it. But also, like, the Clear Shot has the scope on it. They're planning on, from what I understand, releasing Demolisher, or not, no, I'm not, Sling Fires with 25 round drums at Kohl's at some point in the near future. Just using Zombie Strike as a way to get the accessories out that people want, because they can't. From what I understand, it's a big struggle, both internally and externally, to get accessories on the shelves, because stores don't want to dedicate that amount of space to accessories when they could easily do a blaster. And internally, they've had their faults with accessories in the past, and so they're not really as willing to experiment in that direction.
Yeah. Quick poll with you guys. How do you feel about? I mean, a lot of people bring up over and over again, guilty as well. Mission kits, like you said, they don't want to spend the space on that. It feels like, it sounds like, and I'm glad that they're at least getting something out of Zombie Strike. But I sure liked the mission kits when they had just a module of them. At the time, Toys R Us was really big in carrying them too. So I would walk in when we got into the game 3 years ago and see, okay, they've got the lights, they've got everything else, they got the reversible clip and everything. And it was nice to actually see, here's how I can modify my in-strike tactical play, whatever. It's just weird to me that they're putting it all under the role-playing line when they're really still pushing in-strike Elite as the tactical line, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. And I do love those mission kits. I do actually, I think I have probably 1 or 2 of each in my collection. And I've gone out of my way for accessories like the pinpoint sight. Even though they're not functional, they're fun to have on there and they look cool. And I talked to Eric again, or in talking to Eric, I also talked about accessory colors. Telling him that it might be best to not release accessories in any one certain color to match a certain blaster, but a color that can match multiple blasters.
Right. And it seems like the scopes, like from the Clear Shot and the long shot specifically, were designed to match the orange of the Elite at the same time that they're getting along with the Zombie Strike line.
Yeah. Well, it's to see with this new try to do more mission kits though. The market's vastly different than it was 3 or 4 years ago. There's a lot more blasters from other companies taking up shelf space. Well, I guess maybe not, but taking up space elsewhere in the blaster aisle. So they don't have as much leeway anymore to even run with even separate mission kits. The unfortunate problem.
My thought was that if they really wanted to, they could do a small batch of mission kits, put them up on Hasbro Toy Shop or Amazon, and just see how well they sell. Once word of mouth,
Black
spreads.
Friday.
No, we don't need any more Crimson Strike, Black Friday-esque deals. Just something that's available for as long as it lasts. Make a couple thousand of them, put them up for sale, and see how they sell.
That'd be one way to do it.
I don't remember. I know it was one of the marketing guys at the All Access party, but I want to say it was Brian who somebody said that their online sales are somewhat neglected. that, and we've seen, if you look a lot, even on the Nerf Facebook page and everywhere else, there are times where they blitz and they're like, hey, go to HasbroToyShop.com, come here and take a look at our stuff. Specifically, it looks like the ECS, the Cam Blaster, is showing up on Amazon and only staying there. That's something else we learned, and we'll get into that more with the Cam Blaster, of course. But I wonder if that's going to maybe open the thought process more for the actual sales and marketing guys that actually do the selling to do more online pushes. Maybe it will open up an avenue for the accessories to have an online venue.
The problem with it that I see is, people don't think of Hasbro as a company that sells toys. They think of them as a company that makes toys. So when Hasbro, tries to say, hey, visit our toy shop, people say, oh, okay, I should go to Toys R Us and get this. So they go to Toys R Us, they go to Target, they go to Walmart because it's familiar ground. They don't.
Right.
The thought isn't there at all to go to Hasbro.com. People like us can go there because we're a little bit more informed, but average Joe Schmo that could buy something on Amazon just as easy as HasbroToyShop.com is going to go with Amazon.
Well, couldn't they do a linking blitz then? I mean, in the February, just into the toy fair, they did the investor meeting like they always do, and we all picked up on that. Online engagement was huge in there. That's one of the reasons that we get along so well with Nerf HQ, and they talk to us about us being a valid part of their process. Online content, whether created by us or everyday kids, that are enjoying themselves, is so huge. It seems like, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but all of the ads that play on my videos, almost all of them are Nerf right now, but they just need to make sure they're putting the links in because YouTube allows external links, and they've got the awareness campaign there.
Exactly. There's definitely avenues. I think Hasbro's starting to dip their feet a little bit more into the online marketing type things, a little bit more aggressively with the social media. Maybe thanks to us, maybe not. But I think with this insurgence of them coming into the social media marketing and stuff, they could do some linking blitzes and stuff to bolster their sales on their website.
Yeah, it's definitely something that they could do. While we're on the topic of online sales, let's go with the Cam. The Cam's been an interesting blaster ever since it's been revealed. People have been poo-pooing it for the most part because of its lackluster video capabilities and photo capabilities.
$80.
What
price point? Stretch.
Yeah. Well, I think the suggested retail price is $70. But
still, it's still the highest priced blaster that I remember them ever coming out with.
Yeah, but the thing is, the thing about it is, the margin is so small. The wholesale price for Hasbro direct pricing is $60 per blaster. That's like a $10 margin there, and that's not considering in shipping costs either. So
but then is it even worth? Was the camera that important then? I wonder though.
Well,
it's another one of those role play things to try and get kids able to take video and post it right onto Facebook without having to have a GoPro or something like that. Parents can spend $70 and get them a blaster that does everything a guy with a GoPro and a modded blaster can do.
Well, this is what I wasn't done. This is what I forgot to ask about. Now, it's going to give. It gives you the memory card, but then is there a video upload app that they're including, or are they just working under the assumption that anyone who uses it will have a YouTube channel?
Well, I mean, see, the thing is pretty much if you know how to use it, you know how to take video off the SD card, you're probably going to know how to upload it to YouTube or something like that. And YouTube will take care of pretty much everything else. I mean, these videos are a very friendly format. They're AVI videos. They look bad, but they don't look like terrible. I mean, you can read words. You know, you can see what things are, but it's not meant for people like us. It's meant for kids 8 to 12 years old. Basically, for kids to have an out-of-the-box experience. That's what was directly said to me. They wanted to give kids an experience with a camera on a blaster that was available right out of the box. You put batteries in it, and basically you're good to go.
It can definitely do that, and I'm not saying that it's not able to. I'll be honest with you, seeing the video firsthand off of it, compared to what we expected it to look like, is a little bit better than I expected. But bare bones, you know, when you look at the nitty gritty of it, you're looking at Grandma come Christmas time, looking at that big bad blaster that little Jimmy wants in the toy aisle, and seeing the $70 plus possibly price tag on it, and you know, even the parents looking at it, $70 for a camera on a dart gun, is that worth it? Is it worth the $70 investment?
See, the thing is, they're not going to see it on shelves. The only place that's going to be on shelves is outside
Amazon.
the West.
Yes.
But see, and you know, the thing is with volume, retailers will probably be able to drop the price a little bit more, make it maybe a little bit more reasonable at, you know, 60, if they get enough of a price drop with volume. But that
you know, there'll even be a chance that we'll see it on any retail venue. We'll probably just see it on Amazon, and the, you know, pricing on Amazon fluctuates so well.
Well, the blaster is going to be available on more than just Amazon. It's already available, or well, not. It's available for pre-order on Entertainment Earth, and I think Toys R Us has it on their website as well. But you know, I think the online retailers have a better chance of maybe putting it at a discount, and you know, during Christmas time, I think that discount's going to sell it.
You know what? I want to say that people are going to want to splurge around Christmas too. Well, depending on the economic makeup at the time. I mean, if they think their kid wants something and they're like, you know what? They've been a particularly good boy this year. Why not? And that might drive part of the sales also, because I know there's a couple of times I kind of step out of budget during the holidays.
Doesn't. You're allowed to.
So I mean, the $80 at Christmas, maybe. I mean, even then, that might not be 80, 70, whatever. May not be such a problem, but it's after that. Even with like Black Friday or any clearance sales that go on into January, it's going to be pretty darn compelling to get it after that. Although, knowing Hasbro's penchant for special bonus packs, I mean, we still don't even know what they might come up with that. Because how many different versions of a Stampede did some of us buy? 3, when we saw like Bandolier and 2 extra mags, Bandolier and 3 18-round mags, and what was their site? I don't know, there might have been. But all that kind of stuff, too. We still haven't... We have no idea about any of that yet, either.
Well,
which could very well be part of the case.
And hopefully that'll be fixed relatively soon, because we have people at Hasbro that are working to help us get information to the whole of the community on specials that they'll be able to get at different retailers.
Well, let's keep our fingers crossed on it.
Yeah.
So,
wink, wink, nudge, nudge, Hasbro.
Speaking of the Stampede, you know, Click Click Bamf got in the mix in the fall of that era when the Stampede was really coming out and pushing through the stores and everything. You guys were both at the event with the Stampede unveiling, right? Like the big party and everything.
Seeing my name. Wasn't that the first one we went to?
Wasn't he the first one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when that came out and you guys heard the $50 price point or whatnot, what was your initial feeling on that as far as price point back then? You reach back and recall that?
Back then it was high, but also we were getting a deal when we were getting 4 clips, 3 of the 18 rounders, which were brand new. We were getting 1 6-rounder, a shield, and a 4-grip bipod. So we were getting quite a deal for that $50. And I think the Vulcan was very, very close to that as well.
And it was a full automatic that wasn't chains, and we'd already spent how much on a Vulcan, so the price at the time wasn't that much of a stretch, honestly.
No.
Okay. Yeah, and really, the Stampede came on before the onset of flywheel blasters, so there really wasn't all that much in the way of battery-operated blasters at that time. You had, like, the Vulcan, and that was about it. So, I mean, it really, really seemed like it was worth the $50 at the time.
So, compare that, if you will. What do you guys think of when we got the announcement on the Centurion? And we were looking at a $50 blaster for what that was. Obviously, we at the time hadn't experienced the Mega of now. There were Mega Darts before that I think all of us probably encountered back in the day. But what did you guys feel like when we got the $50 price point on the Centurion?
For the type of blast,
it was a little bit of a tough nut to swallow, really.
I honestly didn't think it was that bad, because we were really looking at a new system, and I mean, it seemed like it was going to be kind of a big bad sniper type blast.
Yeah.
And
it shot 100. It was getting marketed at 100 feet. Who wouldn't want that for $50? It's like $2 a foot. Right?
It's like it's like 50 cents a foot.
I can't do math.
What were you saying, Travis?
What was that, Travis?
I was going to say, the Centurion's a 50 caliber Nerf sniper rifle. It's ginormous in every way, shape, or form. I thought that $50 may have been a little risky because of when it was coming out, because it was so new, and because it had such a large shelf footprint, larger than the Stampede. I just was unsure that it was going to be able to survive in the market at that time. Weren't they even marketing it as the new longest blaster, which is why the long strike kind of fell by the way, well, for a multitude of reasons, but that's probably another one of them. The long strike kind of fell by the wayside.
Yeah, I think so.
Yep. So, never mind, I don't remember where I was going. Oh, by the way, I just got a text from Michael from Shining Foam. He says hi, he's at work, so that's why he's not joining us tonight.
I see. Well, we'll have to get him in.
Hello! He's here. Do we have a sticker of his face yet?
No.
What did you guys do with those stickers, by the way?
Oh, you'll see.
We put them in. Oh. It's starting to turn into every year I do some other wacky feat. I'm gonna have to come with something new for next year, I think. That was some silly little stunt that I pulled off. Oh. I'm all out of tricks now. You're never out of tricks, Brian. So,
Attack
Does it? So right before we get into Attack I got to ask you guys, does it seem like to you that every year that we go to party with Nerf HQ, that the actual executives seem to get more and more comfortable and actually just start doing crap like, oh, here, let's have a shootout like Adult Fans of Nerf, Mr. K, let's have a shootout between you and Michael Ritchie on the Mega Thunderbolt.
Oh, they totally have. CJ, if you saw, when we met them the first year, and we said we were from the internet, I've never seen people drink water so fast, so much, so often. They were legit worried. And just in the past few years, it's been, we've come to know these people. You see someone the same time every year.
It's become...
It's an air of familiarity, I'll say.
Well, it's nice when they get so excited that they show it off to us.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, every year it gets more comfortable for everybody. We get more comfortable around them, they get more comfortable around us. Every year we get to see a little bit, it's the same people, but we get to see them a little bit differently because there's a little bit more familiarity there. We're a little bit more okay with each other. It's not, ooh, these are the guys from the internet now. It's just, oh, it's these guys again, whatever.
Right, but last year we had a whole, besides a couple of a couple of familiar faces, we had a whole lot of new people to deal with last year, so that kind of put us back at square one. This year, it was a lot of the folks that we've come to know over at least 2 or 3 parties that they didn't miss, and it's gotten better. Plus, it also helped that I think the guest list, I didn't run into, did anybody meet guys from College Humor or any of those other blog sites that, or other news sites that tend to show up?
No, and to be honest with, well, not from what, I wasn't there, but, you know, I didn't hear anything about any of those guys. I can say I was there even though I wasn't.
you were kind of, I mean, you were kind of there in image.
You were there in spirit.
For something.
I was in spirit, yes.
No, I think the
No, you know what? There was no camera crew walking around again.
No.
Just a dude with a camera.
Yeah, the guest list was
I
incredible.
think they cut that down.
But,
What's that, Matt?
The guest list was quite small this year, and that's definitely a good thing. It allowed everything to run a little bit more smoothly. Everything wasn't packed. You could move around.
It seemed like the last couple of years the focus was a little bit less on the Nerf and a little bit more on the party. So, I mean, to hear that they kind of went back to basics and really focused on showing off the product and spending time with demoing the product and stuff, that seems to me like I missed out on a little bit more than if I would have missed like last year's.
Well, I mean, we weren't sure. That's the thing about the parties. We never quite know how things are going to turn out.
No.
I would have preferred to get another, a little arena. I know the walls kind of went down at Tanagra when that happened. But, we could have...
walls fell.
Somebody correct me on how to say that again. So, it would have been nice to have that particular aspect that I think Litsky isn't quite comfortable with people having with each other anymore. And I guess it's just a liability issue maybe, but we feel really static, and it feels like there's they want us to give a little feedback when we're right then and there, but there's one particular feature we're all missing out on, and that's how well we can move with these things. And that's one thing that's been sorely missing. We had that year 1, incidentally, year 2 and 3, welcomingly, and it's just like last 2, it hasn't. They've removed it, and I kind of wish that they would go back to that at least. And the ice sculpture. I miss the ice sculpture.
I miss the ice sculpture, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, CJ, those were the halcyon days of when we didn't know what the heck we were doing. It's like, we have websites. Woo! Anyway.
Yeah, we were such noobish scrubs back then.
Holy crap, was it really 5 years? It was 5 years ago.
Right? Yeah, it was 5 years ago when maybe we went to the first one.
It's been a long
I was
time.
just happy getting it.
I look back on that first party so fondly because, it was in the basement of a bar, and first time to New York, and wow, there are girls shooting Nerf darts at me, and the Nerf darts littered the entire floor of the bar. They were whizzing past everybody, and it was amazing and awesome.
And then we forgot to eat.
And I forgot, who can eat when there's Nerf everywhere?
That was you know what? I'm surprised that we actually managed to grab a few hot dogs this time around. I was vastly surprised and amazed and pleased.
Well, they shove them in your face enough, eventually you're going to take one.
So, hopefully the event will be more like this, though, next year. I'm crossing fingers. If
we told
I know it's kind of a lot they're going to do it, but I was going to assume that until we hear otherwise.
Yeah. And we told them exactly what we thought. We gave them feedback on the party, and we told them how much we enjoyed this party over last year's, and we told them why. So I think giving them the feedback is something that they probably want, that they don't get, normally anyway. So.
Right. So let's see, that leaves...
Attended.
Oh, yeah. So as far as the attack need goes, Matt, you might have heard some of this too. Well, let's see. I mean, they just kind of stripped, and they stripped a lot of what they found was not effective and was kind of unreliable, and then just went ahead and upgraded or improved on, some of the more salient aspects of it. I forget what it was that they told us about the distribution, because they have the license to sell Nerf Attacknid in some countries.
I think it's.
But then they don't do others.
I think it's the U.S.
So
and Latin America.
They're just going to get the regular Attacknid. What's that?
I think it's the U.S. and Latin America. They have license to sell the Attacknid as a Nerf Attacknid, but I think it might. I think it might still be a Nerf Attacknid in other places. I just think they'll be in charge of selling it. They are not Nerf. So the packaging might differ.
It just seems like the combat creatures Attacknid has been so developed. I mean, well, that's part of what they were doing. Sharon, one of the designers, told me that it took them a year to pull out all the integration for all the extra pieces that they didn't want to simplify the product.
Boy, how did they strip it? Holy crap.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was part of the argument of a more simple. I mean, they've done the same thing with their blasters. They essentially just took their blaster theory of what has worked and applied it to the Attacknid, because they're like, look, simple is what works. You've got, anything from a 6-year-old kid on working with this thing, so it's just got to be something that they can pick up and do, So I think that the market is still absolutely out there for the combat creatures version. I mean, the Stealth Strider is the new black one that has Bluetooth tech that you can hook up to your smartphone and operate it from there, and it's got all the extra bells and whistles and attack patterns where you can sync up multiple Striders. Did you not like what I was saying?
We heard most of it.
Anyway, I just think that there's probably markets for both the simple Nerf and the complicated combat creatures version.
Sorry, guys.
Definitely.
I think so. And I think if nothing else, I don't know a whole lot about the combat creature or the Attacknid itself, but from looking at it and seeing the difference between the two, I think if nothing else, the Nerf Attacknid would be like a gateway side cousin to the combat creatures. Buy this to get yourself started, and then when you're ready to move up to graduate, you get the big dog.
Yeah. Oh, and that being said, they still, I don't know about you guys, but they still wouldn't let me touch the Attacknid at all. It was still a prototype, even after the year of development they were talking about.
Really?
Wow.
Well, we weren't allowed to do that even at Toy Fair, so I'm surprised they didn't have a model that you could play with there either.
Yeah, they seem really not sensitive about it, like, oh no, don't ask me, but they seem to be paying a lot of extra care and attention to it.
Well, maybe some design things maybe they're working on. Maybe it doesn't work. Mechanism.
I would say it's probably more of an engineering thing or getting it finalized for production. I was taking a look or when I was taking a look on Entertainment Earth, they had the Attacknid on there. The release was set for September. So, whether or not, Entertainment Earth seems to be a little bit sometimes behind in terms of release dates for products. So maybe late August, but it's gonna be a little bit later when it's released. And I didn't get a chance to look at it, but yeah, it did seem from what I saw that they were kind of paying closer attention to people touching it and doing stuff with it than anything else there.
Yeah.
Well, I forget. Well, Chris, you got an Attacknid, right?
No, I actually don't have one right now.
Oh, okay. Because, well, the one that I've got, it's touchy. Even the manual itself, it does say, like, the head was, you have to be careful with maneuvering the head, and, I mean, I can definitely see some points of failure on the design that from your original combat creature.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the things that they did remove make a lot of sense. I've almost thrown the thing sometimes because of trying to get that armor to stick. The head is a cool idea, but you can't even really aim the cannon to begin with, so trying to hit the sensor, even if you're trying to use a fire trick or whatever, it's unnecessary. What does strike me though is, even though they stripped it down, and this is the problem I had when it was initially announced, the price, it was, if anyone remembers how much it was, I remember thinking, that's pretty high.
It was like $60 for the basic, right? Or even more than that?
Yeah, I think
so. It's more than the original version.
Yeah.
Although I think since it comes with Nerf cards, it also gets better range. But that means you're also paying a grand for a premium price for a premium range product.
Yeah, and hopefully that
as opposed to the
that premium price, we get some of the kinks worked out of it. Especially if they've spent this much time engineering it and changing it and making it work a little bit better. Hopefully that means that it'll work even better than the original attack nids, and maybe the combat creatures guys have gotten something out of this too, where they're able to engineer their own product a little bit better.
Actually, that makes me think of another question. So, Chris, the VMD has the different frequencies.
Yeah.
I don't see a similar kind of setting on an attack nid, so I wonder if that's another thing they're trying to put in there.
Yeah, good question. I'm thinking the same thing. Now, like the stealth strider I brought up, I guess it would be individual to device, so they wouldn't have to worry so much about frequencies if everybody was tying it to their phones or whatever, on at least that version. So I'm wondering if that's where combat creatures is just going to go in general, because it seems like, gosh, we already know from all the tech recon ads how many people, at least in the United States, are engaged with some kind of a smart device. So it would seem like Nerf might follow suit with that, but again, it seems like they're trying to keep it simple as opposed to super complicated.
Well, Nerf already tried using an app with the Cradle and the other Cradle, which kind of spawned the development of the Cam CS because it didn't really turn out so well, I'm thinking.
I think their problem is there's so many different types of phones, it's hard to create a universal mount for them all. And so they just focus on Apple, and the problem is that a lot of people have similar sized Androids that wouldn't even fit in there. I think the newer one...
Note 2!
Huh? Yeah, well, your Note is fairly big for a phone. But, they tried to address that with the newer version of the Cradle, but I've never been able to find it. You probably won't be able to with the Cam coming out.
Yeah.
Plus, the inherent problem also is, granted, I dropped my iPod Touch in my Cradle, and it survived, amazingly enough. But, the whole thought about putting your $400, $500 device on a $20, $30 blaster and then running around with it like a moron. That doesn't quite seem intuitive at all. Which, $80 instead of your $400, $500 phone, that makes perfect sense if you think about it like that, I guess.
Yeah.
True that. And with as big and bulbous as that app Cradle was, I always saw it, with the weight and everything flopping all over. I never saw it being stable enough. I saw it flying off or falling off or, like you said, running around with it. There's such a high risk of you detrimentally destroying, harming, scratching, breaking your big pretty phone that everybody loves and can't live without, and the Cam may be just a better choice.
If that's what you're going for.
Yeah, if that's what you're going for. If you want something that you can quickly upload to your Facebook, hey, look at me shooting Nerf darts, maybe the Cam's a better investment.
The more I was looking at the Cam at the party, Nick, one of the demonstrators, which people have seen in Vass's videos a couple of times from the Toy Fair. He and I were talking about how they might make tech these days where sharing your video is even easier than having to pull the card out and uploading it online, such as, you know, wireless SD cards.
Yep.
And we were just talking about how great the option is to go stalk your prey and then send them a message to their device that shows you lined up on their rear end. And honestly, I think all of us there noticed, I mean, the output of that blaster is pretty strong. It hits hard, at least at the 40 feet or so, and we were smacking the cans they had lined up with no problems whatsoever. I mean, granted, the accuracy seems like it's upped all across the board with elites and everything else, but it just really seemed to have a little extra umph, at least in the version I was using.
Oh yeah, no, totally. It's been like that. Because they had metal frames all around the showroom, and when I was, they let me kind of shoot anything that was in there except each other. So I'm hearing these darts, and they're still elite darts, but they're pinging off the metal from the shooting range that they set up to anything else. And, what is that? And the motors, they did feel a bit stronger than anything, even the Rapid Strike. So surprisingly, the footage that I got was a lot quieter than I thought it would be, given the Engadget one, which they admitted was a very early prototype, so it wasn't quite there. If anyone had any bases their judgment off the Engadget video, that was way too early to really say anything about the noise level of your videos or anything like that. But just the ping, you feel it when it goes through the flywheel, and then within 30 to 40 feet, because the range that they gave us at the party was maybe that much. That's pretty accurate for a Nerf blaster within 30 feet. Even the elite stuff, sometimes the streamline kind of goes out of its way to go out of its way. But the fact that I could look at a can, aim down the sight, ping the can, there's very little leeway. That spoke volumes about at least where we are within that 30 to 40 foot range, seeing as how the thing's supposed to hit 90.
Yeah, totally. Well, and I was thinking about when you talk about hitting the cans, there was one of the demonstrators. In fact, it might have been one of the PR girls, but she went to go set up the cans, but there was one left. So she started to walk in front of the blaster. I think I actually have it in the video I just uploaded of all the highlight, a quick highlight video. But at one point, I pulled the trigger as rapidly as I could, and she's like, "Ah!" And I mean, I aimed exactly where I intended to aim it. It brushed right past her, and it was like, okay, this thing—that's exactly what was supposed to happen, So it wasn't like I was like, "Oops, sorry, I hit you." Say what?
And that's when CG wasn't invited back.
Right?
Do not fire on the import.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, and the noise of the blaster in the videos isn't that bad. I mean, it's definitely noticeable, but I mean, for how powerful the motors seem to be, it's definitely a lot quieter than even the Demolisher.
Now, do you think you can pick up someone's audio? I don't know if you try to get any audio while you're firing. Did any of it come out, or do you think it would come out?
You mean audio talking while you're
if you're yelling something over while you're opening fire with a blaster, and you yell something, do you think that would get picked up, or someone yelling back at you?
I definitely think that the audio is going to get picked up. The microphone is actually right next to the screen, so if you're talking, it's going to be able to pick it up over the sound of the blaster itself.
Nice.
Because I actually looked for the microphone, while I had it in hand, because I was curious about that too. Yeah, I would think if they put the microphone ahead of the flywheels, that you might wind up hearing more noise than speech. But with it being back by the screen, you're going to hear any noise you make.
You guys mentioned, a couple of you guys spotted the missing eye cover or orange piece that was over the thing.
The sun
Did you guys
shield.
get any? What that was for?
It's to protect the screen from the sun.
Was that supposed to be removed, or had they just not put it on?
Nobody would give me nobody would really give me an answer because they didn't know. They weren't sure if that protector was actually going to be on the production models or if it was just something that wasn't included on the versions that we had at the party. But I mean, all the pictures that I've seen so far have it included, like the ones on Amazon.
So we'll just have to see then.
Yeah,
Sure.
we'll have to see. We'll have to wait until we get it.
So have any of you guys been on the? So this totally jumps topics. So stop me if we want to still talk more about the cam. But has anybody been on the receiving end of one of the Demolisher missiles yet?
Travis?
No.
Yeah.
I'm wondering what the intimidation factor is like compared to a Titan of old.
It's not as powerful.
This thing's it's not as powerful.
Right.
I think it'll go farther over range than a Titan.
But the impact is just not.
You can feel it. You can definitely feel it, but it's not. I mean, I'll stand there and take it. I'll think twice about a Titan because you can put more into a Titan than you can this thing. You know, you get one pump and you got to do it fast. Titan you can sit and pump for until you blow your bladder, but
Yeah, I can just see the mods coming now, popping a canned air can right underneath that thing.
dear Lord.
Gosh.
The thunderbolt darts hurt at least small children.
Yeah, William shot my son in the forehead and made him cry.
I shot William. Yeah, I jumped out to surprise him, and I pulled back and fired to hit him square in the forehead. Yeah.
Oh.
Now, to be fair, you didn't just fire at him once. You unloaded the thing at him. And one of them hit him in the forehead.
I didn't realize that he was actually in pain from it. I thought it just surprised him.
God.
And I did feel bad, and I let him fire on me.
Yes, you did. So, yeah. Matt got shot at least once by it.
I can't wait to hunt some of my coworkers with that thing.
It's so satisfying to fire in every way, shape, and form.
Yeah. Well, and I just swore to myself it wasn't going to be quite that satisfying before.
It's that bowstring.
We had the announcements. Yeah, it is the
Everyone was leery about a real bow action blaster, especially considering Zing's that's their bread and butter.
Yeah.
Like, you can't use Zing indoors. At least not any of the. Well, at least you shouldn't. That doesn't mean people don't. But the Xano bow, you might get away with it.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to use a Z curve indoors under any circumstance.
Right.
And here you got this Thunderbow, which was you can hit 100 feet, and it's got the real Hunger Games kind of thing going on for boys, I guess.
Yeah.
That's what
Or
we
the
call
whole Robin Hood thing.
Yeah, Robin Hood.
Oh, that's it. Lord of the Rings. That's a better one.
Hawkeye,
Or
Arrow.
see, that's it right there. They need a green version now, right?
Yes.
Green
Go
version.
Hasbro.
Well, Hasbro's not going to be able to make. Well, they might make a green version for Zombie Strike, but
Yeah. But not for Arrow.
no,
They make a
it'd be
purple version for Hawkeye because they don't own DC's toy licenses, so they can't do a Green Arrow one.
Hawkeye's a good point, though.
Yeah.
Hey, Avengers 2,
clever.
you'll never know.
I could see that.
Yeah, but I mean,
they
they did give us that reskin Triple B as a Hawkeye bow for.
Yeah.
They should come back and do it again. They should come back and do it with the Mega Thunder bow for the next Comic-Con.
Yeah, and
Age of
I'd like to
Ultron
see
is coming out soon.
It is. That's what I just said. And they have two bows that they could use for a Hawkeye one, the Agent bow and the Mega. I'd rather see the Mega because I think it performs better overall than the Agent bow.
It's that loading
And allows
mechanism
you
of
to
the
do that
Agent
rapid
bow.
fire.
Yep.
Right?
Now, if only they'd make a speed loader for it.
I can't wait to see that 4 at a time video that we did, Mr. K.
That was pretty cool.
It could have been better quality, but I think it's going to be pretty cool.
Was it full on 4? I thought it was only 3.
No,
No, we got
it was
4.
initially 3, but then we got the 4th one.
Ah, okay. All right.
Yeah, the demonstrators were a little frustrated with us, but one of them was really in on it. And then Michael from Nerf was like looking at us like, what are they? Oh.
Dude, that's exactly why they love having us around, because we'll come up with things like that.
Let's think about it for just one quick second there. You're going to have a party showcasing all these toys. What kind of people are you going to want to have there? The guys that are going to pick it up, boop, 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 put it down. Yeah, that was pretty cool. Or the guys that are going to try and grab everyone at the display at once to see if you can fire them all simultaneously.
Well, then of course you got Vass over at the sling fire table showing off his move again.
Just throw out your
Yeah, I still got to work on spinning 2 of them at the same time. That didn't go as well, but by the 4th or 5th time I tried it, it was close. Still got to work on doing.
Mr. Cockburn, the old John Wayne style version when he's on the horse with the reins between his teeth and he's swinging.
Let me try and pull that off at the next party. We'll see.
I have a lot of ranches out here, man.
Let's work on getting an HQ first.
Dude, well, Brian kept talking about he was really interested in coming out when that new arena is supposed to open in this area, and keep pushing the idea of a blogger tournament. Yeah.
Well, let's hope it actually comes to fruition. I mean, see, that's just it. All these places keep popping up, and it's all willy-nilly.
So it's a start. It's a place where it can grow.
Right.
Yeah, but this is something that, it's like, with all the Nerf Dart Tag League stuff that was going on, where was the natural progression?
It wasn't there, and that's why it fell.
Unfortunately.
They kept changing the format. It was different every year. Registration was a nightmare. It was goofy age brackets, and you couldn't pick your own team. You were randomly placed in brackets with people that you never knew. There was no synergy, and you're supposed to play a tournament with these people?
Well, that's because a kid made $18,000 playing it. So they had to start splitting them up. The first 2 tournaments, that's ridiculous when you think about it. The same kid. And if he had been partnered with his brother ended up on another team who was in the finals for that last year. So, and I don't know if there was a consolation prize, but that one kid made 18 G's because every year it's like 6,425 when you split it up, and he made about that much whenever he won. And I mean, the first 2, kid wins it the first year, that's one thing. Same kid wins it the year 2. Of like, okay, this kid's made already $12,000 off of us playing Nerf. Maybe we should try something new, because obviously there's something going on here. And the last year, hey guys, another 6 Gs, please. I'll take it. That's it was kind of setting. I wouldn't be the marketing was probably the first 2 years I spent on that tour. Everyone was there for the BMX tour or whatever X Games type sport. It was a sideshow. Unfortunately, that's how it spent the first 2 years. Then the 3rd year, they tried that whole new format, and lo and behold, the same kid won the tournament that whole year too. So it's just like, well, shoot, this kid's already made about half the profits off a dart tag or whatever the numbers are. It's just that's a crazy amount when you sit down and look at it and go, oh my God, this kid just paid for how much does college cost nowadays? So he paid for at least a good chunk of it with that. You know what I'm saying? His parents were really happy. There have probably been no other happier parents in the world of Nerf than the parents of that kid. Every year he won.
Yeah.
That was books. That was dorm. Man, you should play with toys more often.
That's a yes. An absolute yes.
I'll think about that on the next flight to New York. Anyways.
Play with toys more often, I think, is as good an ending to this hangout as we can have.
Agreed.
I think we've
Good
covered
call.
pretty much everything. At least
Yeah,
everything that we can remember.
I wanted to propose the next topic of discussion, though, on Boomco. Because by then we'll all have had a good chance to kind of use it around or whatever.
Yes, in a couple of weeks or so, we will have another hangout on Boomco. We'll talk about that.
Sounds good. We may either want to as a separate thing or just do an all-around catch-up, because I know you guys all probably just got your hands on the Rebel stuff too, and I just did the report. Mine showed up finally at Toys R Us here, except for the Rapid Red, which I think I'm behind on the news on that one, but yeah.
No, that one, I haven't seen that one pop up yet either. I wonder if it's going to be a little bit later.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they're holding it back this fall.
No, I don't think it's going to be that bad. I think
Yeah.
it's just one of the things they can't fit on the shelves right now, and they just haven't put it out. Either that, or it could be it's on Entertainment Earth, so it's not a store exclusive. So
Right. So, well, yeah, let's just keep those topics on mind, and then...
Cool.
Oh,
all right,
yes. Awesome.
call it a night.
Sounds
Yeah,
good.
Later, guys.
See ya.